Good morning all. Myself Arul Soumya, working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So here I am going to share and discuss a topic on the logistic model in classification. So what is logistic model? So logistic model is a classification algorithm. So basically it is used to predict the probability of categorical outcomes. And most commonly it is used for binary classification, like we can get any values from any output values between 0 and 1. So based on this sigmoid, we can get the logistic function in a following way. So for example, we can take email as to verify whether it is spam or not spam. So the next one is, why not linear regression for probabilities? So linear regression in the sense the output values is less than 0 or greater than 1, which is it must be a 0 to 1 or and not less than a 0 and greater than a 1. So probability in the sense it must lie between 0 and 1. So in a linear model, it assumes constant variance, like poor performance for classification tasks. So now we are going to see how logistic regression works. So in this diagram, it shows the graph value of which lies between x and y. So in a regression probability concept, it predicts probability of an outcome. Like the output is bounded between 0 and 1, and it is using classification problems. So in linear model, it transformed into a linear model to probability. So using this linear model, we can get the class value here. So what are the types of logistic regression? So here we are having binary logistic regression, multinomial logistic regression, and ordinal logistic regression. So in binary logistic regression, we can get two classes. For example, yes or no. And in multinomial logistic regression, we can get more than two classes. So for example, predicting fruit type, what fruit type they have mentioned here. So in ordinal logistic regression, we can get ordered categories like rating in any platforms or any food reviews or any one. There may be poor, good, excellent. There is three ways of classes mentioned here. So next one is mathematical model. So in mathematical model, we have linear path, logistic model, cost function, that is log loss. Logistic regression uses log loss instead of MS. So for here they have mentioned the formula here, that is loss is equal to minus y log of p plus 1 minus y and log 1 minus p. So here is a real world example. So real world example in the sense it diagram shows the problem inputs and output. So here the problem is to predict whether the student will pass or fail. So what are all the inputs we can get? By calculating the study hours, attendance and previous marks, we can easily get whether the student will be passed or fail in an exam. So here the problem that is we predict whether the student will pass is a logistic regression that predicts probability of passing possibilities. Next one is application of logistic regression. So application of logistic regression in the sense there is a many applications here. For example, email spam detection, credit risk analysis, disease prediction in the medical field, and in customer churn prediction in banks, fraud detection in any platforms, admission prediction in colleges, schools, and marketing response predictions, and marketing response predictions in a large kind of finance side of processings. So here there we can get a logistic regression process. So coming to the conclusion, logistic regression is a powerful and widely used classification algorithm in an classification model. So it converts linear output into probability values between 0 and 1 using the sigmoid function, so which lies between a graph of x-axis and y-axis. So basically this model is simple, interpretable and computational efficient. And it performs best for binary classification problems with linear separable data. So using this logistic regression, we can get easy output by using a graph model or a sigmoid function. So basically, it is simple and it also efficient for calculating the linear regression in a given probability databases. And it also performs binary classification, multinomial classification, and more classification process in a given probabilities. Thank you.